Good morning, dear students. Welcome back to another session of English class. I'm really happy to be online and I hope all of you are keeping safe at home. You're at the pink of your health. You're at the best of your health. So, let us continue with the story Ishwaran, the storyteller. Today would be the concluding part. We had been discussing the story in 3 parts. 2 parts had already been completed and today we are going to get to the concluding part. Now you see, in the last class, if you remember, we had discussed the incident of an elephant. You try to recall that incident. I had already told you that Ishwaran was an excellent storyteller. He put a lot of imagination and life into his narration, and because of that his stories were lifelike. And Mahindra was very much captivated by his stories. He was taken up by his stories. And Ishwaran also had a character to leave the story halfway and then come back after doing some work and complete it. He made Mahindra to guess, or he left him in a kind of what you call suspense, left him with the suspense. So his stories always had a kind of cliffhanging. What do you mean by cliffhanging? You make, or Ishwaran made the reader or the listener, that is Mahindra, to think as to what would be the next incident or how the story would end. So just try to bring that elephant episode or the incident of the stray elephant or elephant going mad into your mind. And Mahindra was so much taken up by that story that he asked Ishwaran finally as to what happened to that elephant. And if you remember, Ishwaran told that after 2 days, the Mahout, the trainer of the elephant, came back and he took away the elephant because the message was passed on to him. That the message was that the elephant was now back to normalcy. Okay. After narrating this story or the incident of the elephant, Ishwaran wanted to scare Mahindra once more. He wanted to create a sense of fear in Mahindra's mind, in his subconscious level once again. So one fine day, on one particular day or on one fine day, Ishwaran told Mahindra, "Sir, tomorrow is a very important day for us." And Mahindra asked, "What's the importance of tomorrow?" You see, tomorrow is the day on which we offer food to our departed ancestors, those who had died before. So tomorrow is the day on which we make some delicacies, some good food, some tasty dishes and offer it to the departed souls or people who had already died, the departed ancestors, so that their spirits will be calm. So, shall I make something special for you tomorrow? That was a question put to Mahindra. And Mahindra agreed to that. So, according to the desire of Mahindra, Ishwaran cooked a wonderful meal, a sumptuous meal or a tasty meal. He cooked different dishes and he served Mahindra. So Mahindra enjoyed every dish of Ishwaran because we know Ishwaran was an excellent cook. So after the meal was over, Ishwaran began to narrate a scary story. And the story was about a ghost woman. You know what he told Mahindra? He started very quietly, "Sir, on a full moon day, you will see a woman just there out in the field. She happens to appear on every full moon day. And you know, she makes some noise because she has anklets on her feet. And the anklets make a jingling sound. So she appeared on a full moon night every day. You can hear a very low noise on a full moon night. That is between 12 midnight and 3 a.m. That is the time you hear this noise. And this woman looks very strange. How does she look? She is clad in a sari. What is the meaning of clad? She is clothed in a white sari and her hair is unkempt. What is the meaning of unkempt? It was not done. It was just hanging loosely. Unkempt, not combed, not done properly, and the hair was flowing. So she wore a white sari and the anklets on her feet. The anklets were making a jingling sound. Her hair was flowing, not done, and she was carrying a fetus in her hand, and the fetus was covered with a white piece of cloth. What do you mean by a fetus? It is the figure of a half-grown baby. The baby is not fully grown, it is only half-grown. So this lady who appeared on a full moon night with the anklets on her feet and clad in a white sari and having a flowing hair, carried a fetus, which means a half-grown baby, an immature and not fully grown baby. And when she makes that jingling sound, your blood runs cold. It is spine-chilling. It's terrific. And everyone is scared. I have seen her several times, sir. So you be better careful. On the full moon night, there is every possibility for you to hear the sound of this ghost woman. And now, on listening to this narration of Ishwaran, Mahendra's blood ran cold. He froze with fear. He was frozen with fear, absolutely frightened, terror-stricken. That is how I can put that. So he's totally afraid now. But let me tell you, this was purely a creation of Ishwaran. He cooked up the story. What is the meaning of cooking up the story? Out of his imagination, he created the story. But he created the story and narrated it in such a lively manner that Mahendra was very much taken up. Not only taken up, he was shaken up. He was completely frozen with fear. And that particular day arrived, the full moon day. It was nearly 1:30 a.m. Mahendra was lying on his bed, and suddenly, as Ishwaran had predicted, he heard a noise at his window. In the beginning, he thought that it could have been the purring of a cat. What is the purring of a cat? The sound that a cat makes when it is in a kind of leisurely way. So he thought this could be the purring of the cat or the sound made by the cat or the mewing of the cat. But the noise seemed to be growing louder and louder. And as the noise became louder, Mahendra got out of his bed. And he was trying to look out of the window. And there, to his shock and horror, he could see that ghost woman. And exactly as Ishwaran had predicted, the ghost woman appeared to him. She was clad in a white sari. The sound of the anklets were jingling. They were becoming louder and louder. And her hair was flowing, unkempt, as I told you. And she was clad in a pure sari, carrying the fetus in her hand. And she was giving an inviting call to Mahendra. She was calling Mahendra. Now, having seen this particular apparition, this particular sight, Mahendra could not sleep anymore. It is obvious. So his whole body started sweating, and somehow he managed the night to pass. Now Ishwaran again plays a trick. In the morning, he comes to Mahendra's room and he puts a question. Sir, last night I could hear the sound of that ghost woman. I could hear the sound of a cat, the purring of the cat. And after listening to that, I came to your room. But you were on your bed. Your eyes were closed. And then I thought maybe You are afraid, you are terror-stricken, and you are affected by that apparition of the woman. I wanted to kind of wake you, but I couldn't, because I thought if I did that, you would be frightened. So, Ishwaran created a sense of fear in the mind of Mahendra. So, this fear settled down in the subconscious mind. Fear enters the subconscious mind of Mahendra. We had discussed this fear in the subconscious mind in the last class, if you remember. So, if you are afraid of something when you are a young child, when you are a student, when you are a baby, that fear continues to remain in you even after you grow into an adult. And if you don't deal with that fear in the subconscious mind, you will always be a victim. I had given you some examples. Some great people were afraid of simple creatures like cockroaches, lizards, cats. Some people are afraid of water. Some people are afraid of tall buildings. So, they have phobias. You call these fears as phobias. So this was a kind of fear, or we can say a kind of phobia that entered the subconscious mind of Mahendra. And who was the cause of creating that? Ishwaran obviously was the cause. Ishwaran took some sort of, he was interested and he was glad when he could see people being affected by his story. So he took pride in calling himself as a storyteller, and he enjoyed people getting scared, and poor Mahendra became a victim of Ishwaran's trickery or his tricking plans. So what happens after this? The next morning, Mahendra woke up, refreshed himself, and he asked Ishwaran to prepare breakfast. Ishwaran prepared breakfast, and having taken breakfast, he rushed to his company. He rushed to his manager, his superior, and immediately he tendered his resignation, and after that, Mahendra left that spot forever. He was never to be seen. So, this is how the story ends. The story has a theme. What exactly is the theme? Don't ever try to give in to fear. Don't ever try to give in to fear. Fear is actually a kind of killer. It is a silent killer. And I tell you, the only thing that you have to fear is fear itself. Some great American academic had said this. The only thing that you must fear is fear itself. So, if you conquer fear and become courageous, most of your problems will be solved. Fear will not enter into your subconscious mind. So, try to handle it. Now, Mahendra could have used his brain a little. He could have inquired about this incident to people with whom he was working. He was working with many people. But I don't think Mahendra took the trouble of inquiring about all these incidents narrated by Ishwaran. He did not weigh the pros and cons, or he did not analyze the matter. So if somebody tries to tell you something which you cannot so easily believe, try to analyze the matter, try to find whether it is true or not, collect information about that, and then do not be afraid, but be bold enough to face any kind of situation. That exactly is the theme of this lesson. Never give in to fear. Once you give in to fear, it will slowly or gradually try to put you down, and you will become a victim of fear. And fear can take away the lives of people also sometimes. So that exactly is the theme of this lesson. And before we conclude, let me give you some points to reflect upon or ponder over. Narrate the incident of the ghost woman. This could be a possible question. How did Mahendra create a sense of fear how did Ishwaran create a sense of fear in Mahendra's mind by narrating the story of the ghost woman? What exactly was the story of the ghost woman? Explain the appearance or describe the appearance of the ghost woman. And another question is, what is your opinion about the apparition? Do you think that it is real, or it is an imagination, or pure imagination of Ishwaran? Is it a fiction? Is it an imaginative world? What is your opinion? Another possibility here is Ishwaran himself could have appeared as a woman. He might have dressed himself as a ghost woman and then created a sense of fear in the mind of Mahendra. That is also a possibility. So, this is an open-ended question. What is your opinion? Do you think it is real or unreal? So, it is up to you to answer that. And the theme of the lesson has already been discussed. Remember the two important characters, one is Ishwaran and the other one is Mahendra. But Ishwaran takes the center stage of the story. He is actually the protagonist. The qualities of Ishwaran, the way he narrated the stories, the life that he put into the stories, how he made stories appear true, these are some of the points to be pointed. So, keeping these points in mind, we'll wind up today's session and we will meet with another new lesson in the forthcoming session. Till then, stay safe and take care.